Good morning, everybody. An odd topic for this morning's live stream, but it's what we're going with: manners. And there's a reason for this. Sometimes topics come to us and they insist that we notice them, themes in life, and it pays to take notice when things are trying to get our attention, even if they're sort of unexpected. And let me tell you how that happened to me. As you know, this was the 4th of July weekend, and in anticipation of that, we were looking through the Episcopal Book of Common Prayer for prayers. And there's a beautiful prayer called For Our Country in one of the many prayers for national life, sort of a little known part of the prayer book, but excellent all the same. And it turned out that I mentioned this prayer on Saturday on the actual 4th, and then yesterday at our main 10 a.m. live stream service, Rick O'Brien also read this same collect, and one line stuck in my mind. Basically, we're thanking God for giving us this good land for our heritage. And then the prayer says, "Bless our land with honorable industry, sound learning, and pure manners." Isn't that an interesting little trio of petitions to God? Honorable industry, sound learning, and pure manners. Love it. And I love that we ask God for manners, because actually our faith can be increased through better, purer manners. And our manners, a practice of pure manners, not only can improve our personal faith, strengthen our connection to God, but it almost can be a tool of evangelism. If you bring calm, peace, and respect to a situation where there is none, you're actually bringing a fruit of godliness to that situation. If you bring careful listening, self-respect, and appropriate strength to a situation where people are insulting one another, demeaning one another, being really insecure, you are bearing witness to a God of peace and calm and love. I heard a story recently, really simple. Two people are at a gym. And I don't mean like LA Fitness or Gold's or the local Las Vegas Athletic Club, but just the little gym that you find in apartment complexes that have enough units that they have a little tiny workout area. And these rooms are very small. Typically, they have a half dozen or 10 machines. And there were two people there, a friend of mine, and on another area, a gentleman was banging the weights and dropping significant weights on a floor that aren't designed for that, unlike LA Fitness, where you can drop 400 pounds on the ground, and the ceiling's been built for that. It might make a loud noise. But my friend was really getting distracted by this noise and thinking, actually, this guy's going to destroy the machines. And it would have been easy at that moment to say, oh, this poor guy, he's got a gut and he's lifting weights he can't even handle, so he's throwing them on the ground, and go to that place of judgment. But what instead happened was this person said, wait, I'm not going to say anything to this person like quiet down or have a little more respect for the equipment. Because what they discovered was instead that there was a feeling of, what can I learn from this situation? I'm going to remember what my grandmother taught me. When in doubt, don't. And that refers to speaking or intervening in or admonishing others. And the person discovered actually, though, that this was a reflection of an own lack of inner peace, and that peace could be chosen instead. That this person could bang his weights, but that peace and inner peace and calm could be maintained through this. And so it became an exercise not only of a little bit of cardio on the ellipse, but a spiritual exercise of maintaining calm and peace even when there was a challenge to it. And this is something we can do again and again and again, is to understand that good manners can be brought to situations where bad manners or insensitivity or rudeness are being exhibited. And perhaps one of the most important things we can do is to bring good manners to those situations where they're most lacking. A little aside here, some people might wonder, as I did, what's the difference between manners and etiquette? And of course, the two are hugely related. I couldn't help but notice the analogy in the Judeo-Christian world of law and grace. The analogy being that law would be etiquette and grace would be manners. But I got some cool quotes here. Let me share them with you. This is on manners and etiquette. Manners and etiquette go hand in hand, but are not the same. Etiquette is a set of rules dealing with exterior form. Manners are an expression of inner character. Manners are made up of trivialities of deportment, which can be easily learned if one does not happen to know them. Manner is personality, the outward manifestation of one's innate character and attitude toward life. And here's a shorter one from Emily Post, who's always known for writing all the books on etiquette and every single detail. Long chapters on how to walk through a garden if the garden is next to a home of royalty. So the queen of etiquette, Emily Post herself, once said, let me find that. Yes. This from Emily Post. Manners are a sensitive awareness of the feelings of others. If you have that awareness, you have good manners, no matter what fork you use, which is excellent. Good job, Emily. The takeaway is always, well, okay, great. You've made the sale, Chris. How do I have better manners? How can I let my faith inform my manners? I'd like to say something you don't hear. Usually manners are about, and as they should be, sensitivity toward others. I just asked Carol Wagers, who's practicing on the organ across the hall just an hour ago, what's the most important thing about manners to you? She said, you don't say things that would hurt other people's feelings. And boy, I think Ms. Wagers got that absolutely right. That is primary. But I want to extend that to something we don't hear very often at all. And that is that we might have better manners if we begin by extending and treating ourselves with better manners. When we're banging our own weights in life, can we say, oh, there's somebody else in here? These weights don't even belong to me. I don't want to break this equipment. I don't want to dent this floor that was not made to have weights dropped on. Catch ourselves when we're behaving badly. Also, as a corollary to what Carol Wagers said, can we be careful to not say to ourselves things that are hurting our own feelings? Can we ask God to help us to cease the inner voice of criticism, to say, oh, I don't deserve to get a better job because I didn't study enough in college. I don't deserve to be able to write a good book because I can't concentrate because of all the drugs I did when I was younger. And to give ourselves these negative reinforcements, to say I'll never amount to anything, or I wasted opportunities. That negative chatter is actually a form of treating ourselves with bad manners. And it is impossible, if we're treating ourselves with bad manners, to feel genuine good manners and compassion toward others. We can fake it. We can be a negative person and fake like, everything's okay, and I know all the right things to do, and I know how to never expose the back of my body to the Queen as we go between the hedges outside Windsor Castle. But that's not going to be of any worth to anybody, especially you or God, if it's not based on genuineness, a true sensitive awareness of feelings. And so I'm borrowing from Emily Post. Not just a sensitive awareness of the feelings of others, but a sensitive awareness of all feelings, including our own. Now, one little side warning here from Captain Obvious. Don't become self-obsessed. Don't be like the person who loves therapy so much they go see their psychiatrist every day for an hour for 29 years and then just becomes pure self-focused psychobabble about what they're thinking and feeling constantly. And clearly never does anybody else or anything else cross their mind. So a little aside there on the warning. As we're being mannered with ourselves, let's also be truthful with ourselves and remember that we are a tiny part of a huge organism of God's creation. The best thing to do, though, I'm going to end here, is if we want our manners to really be made better, we do like it says in the prayer. Ask God for help. Say to God, save us from violence, discord, and confusion, from pride and arrogance, and from every evil way. You're saying yes. Bless us with pure manners. So I'm going to ask God that God bless me with pure manners, and anybody else wants to join me, that's my prayer today for all of us. All right, thanks. God bless.